Hello guys and girls, it's Lurgs here. Welcome to my channel, and today how to replace an ABS wheel speed sensor. Right, we best get cracking. The ABS sensor is also known as the wheel speed sensor. All four wheels send information to the computer, and based on this the computer decides which wheels are locking up. The sensors are also used for anti-skid, and on older vehicles they're also used for the TPMS. There's a link above now explaining how the TPMS system works. Now if you've got this ABS light constantly lit on your dashboard, it means you've got a problem with your ABS system. Now the first thing to check is the fuse. There should be a fuse for the ABS system. Make sure it's not blown. If it's okay, then you need an OBD2 reader, which sounds like a droid from Star Wars, and this should be able to read the error code. So I've got a problem with my front left wheel speed sensor, and that's the one that we're going to replace out. So you need to get the front wheel off and then locate the ABS wheel speed sensor, which on this model is here. Now what you're doing is you're basically just tracking where the cable goes, and it should be pretty obvious. It should just go in here just behind the disc. Now you might have a bit of a job getting this out, because obviously there's a lot of dirt and water going down there. So my advice is just spray some WD-40 on it and leave it for 10 or 15 minutes. So remove that sensor. Oh, hello. Remove that sensor. So I'm just going to have a bit of a problem wiggling this one out, because it's probably been in there over 10 years. So just get plenty of WD-40 on there, and I've actually got a pair of pliers on here just to give it a bit of a wiggle, just to give it a final force out. And here it comes. Lovely. So it's now out, and you can see it's pretty filthy. So basically clean that area up, get a nice rag on there, give it a good old clean, and this is the dirty old wheel speed sensor that we're going to get rid of. Now don't take the whole thing off, because then when you go to put the new one on, you'll think, oh, where did it go? What I do, which is a good tip, is just to replace it bit by bit. So as you take the old one off, you put the new one on. Now that nut that I've just taken out for the wheel speed sensor, when I put that in, I'm just going to put a bit of copper grease on the threads. Oh, and I'm just going to have a quick cup of tea. If you're going to be working on the motor, make sure you always have a lovely cup of tea. Okay, so this is the ABS wheel speed sensor that I've ordered. I got this from a well-known auction site, and it was a fraction of the cost that I could get it at any dealer or any car parts local dealer in my local area. So at the moment I'm just matching it all up, making sure it is the correct model, and it's all looking exactly the same here. Obviously on your model it might be slightly different, but make sure it's identical to the one that you're replacing before you take it all to pieces. So the blue connector here should just easily unplug. Again, that could be filthy dirty, so just give that a squirt and a clean with some WD-40. And get the new plug and plug that in. And then we'll start following the cable right round to just behind the disc. So let's just plug it in here. Good stuff. Right, so now I'm going to start tracking the cable, following the existing cable, and just removing the old one bit by bit and replacing the new one in exactly the same place. That way there's no issues of, oh, where did this go, where did that go, oh, this bit's too long, I'm not sure where that plugged in. Just keeps it all nice and simple. So let's get the new one into that plug. And there it goes. So you can see I've got them side by side here, the new one and the old one. So I'm just tracking it round. So you've got the new one there on the left hand side and the old one. So on this particular model, it's got a rubber clip there and it actually clips onto the suspension mount there. So I'm just going to pull that off and then tap the new one in. So it just slots into there. It's quite a stiff fit, so I'm just going to get a hammer and just gently bang it into position. And there it goes. So the final piece of the jigsaw is the actual sensor, and I'm going to plug that directly in, which I have there. And I've got the nut to go in with the copper grease on the threads. So just tighten that up. And just one final check, make sure it's all in place, which it is, so that's all looking good. And there it is, the new wheel speed sensor is now installed. So what you need to do is you need to replace the wheel, so put the wheel back on, and then the ABS light is still a light, but now if you go for a drive, the computer should understand that it's been fixed and the ABS light will disappear. If you found that video useful, please subscribe by pressing this button down here. Really do appreciate you visiting my channel, guys and girls. And if you'd like to select any other videos around here, that would be really cool. And be sure to hit that bell notification tab.